What's going on, my friends? Today I'm walking you through a BEI inspection for repairability. BEI stands for the Builders Expert Institute. And so we are going to simulate a repair here. And we're not doing an actual repair, we're just simulating it. So we're going to mark a target shingle or a subject shingle with an X. And then numerically we're going to label every shingle that either touches X or is associated with removing the fasteners to pull X out and remove it from the roof. So right below X we have shingle 1 and 2. To the left, well, your left, there's 3. And to the right we have 4. And we are going to pay very close attention to how I'm labeling these shingles in this video. We don't want chalk. We want it on the bottom of the shingle, not the very top. If there's any creasing, the chalk gets in there and we can't see it. I'll get to that more in a little bit, but above X we have 5, and then just a little bit above to the right we have 6, and then we're going to have to remove 2 rows of nails. So therefore we have shingle 7 all the way up top, and then all the way to the top and right we have shingle 8. This varies from 3-tab to laminate. If the laminates are racked versus staircase, it could also change your numbers. But for this roof, these are all the shingles that are associated with X. All right, so I've sped this up because it's kind of boring, but we're gonna get to removing X. So we unseal everything. I'm using just a typical pry bar. You could use a roof snake if you want. The carriers a lot of times will require that. But again, this isn't a repairability video to actually do a repair. It's just a simulation. So we're carefully gonna remove all the fasteners. When I say carefully, I want to really underscore that this is not a test to try and show something is unrepairable. This is supposed to be done with good faith. So we want to be very cautious and not be a bull in a china shop. We want to be careful here because from an engineering standard, it doesn't matter if this is repairable or not. We're just demonstrating it. If you're a roofer, of course you want it to fail, but you got to get this out of your head that you got to do things unethically. We can do things perfectly by the book and still show that things are unrepairable, and we do it quite often actually. So here I am trying to find a rogue nail. I've got all the ones I thought that were there out, and I still can't get the shingle out. But this goes to show it's not always cut and dry. Roofers shingle things all kind of different ways, and sometimes you got to do a little bit more complex stuff to remove the shingle, which is why it's not always like I said, it's not as cut and dry. Sometimes you doing all this extra stuff creates reasons that it's not repairable. The shingle's out, so we're going to inspect shingle 1 and 2 to see if there's anything like mat transfer, for example, which would be by unsealing it, the sealant strip actually rips part of the shingle below it, and so you'd have like a chunk of mat and some fibers sticking out. On this particular shingle, again, we're looking at X as well to see for mat transfer. We don't have any of that. If you look closely, we actually have delamination going on. So that base sheet and that top laminate piece that are glued together, just removing the shingle. Not a lot of manipulation there, but it caused everything to delaminate. It's a problem. Now we're going to insert the same shingle. We're going to nail the same shingle we just took out back into the roof. Why we're not using a new shingle? Because we're not doing a repair. This is a repair assessment. We're just trying to demonstrate if we were doing a repair, what additional damage could possibly occur. So we're going to put everything back in place. Obviously, you're not going to nail in the same holes. You'll find some more strong, rigid areas that don't have a nail hole in them. Put all the nails back exactly how they should go. Forget about how the other roofer did it. We're doing this by the book. And again, we're doing it good faith, so we're not trying to lift the shingle too much and intentionally cause creasing. You'll see we didn't need to do that on this video. Here I'm trying to find some debris that's under the thing. It doesn't sit flat, so having to pull it up just a little bit more. But again, we're just trying to demonstrate what happens when we do a repair. And so I'm going to finish this up here, and then we're going to go and inspect all the shingles around our subject. And what I like to do before I actually get to that part is go back and remark all the shingles, because all of the banging with the hammer, the chalk falls off. You don't know what you're looking at. So here I'm just remapping out shingle 3, relabel it 3, so on and so forth. But for this test, it did fail. And so you will see it failed because all the shingles around X delaminated as well. So this means if I were to actually replace X with a new shingle, then I've created damage to, I believe, we're gonna see shingle 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I've caused 5 damaged shingles by fixing one shingle. And that's the point of the BEI assessment. You see all of these they're toast. This is the roof is not technically in that bad a condition, but when we're talking about repairs, we're not really factoring that in. We're talking about all the other technicalities. You would also look at this point for mat transfer on those other shingles. You look for creasing. You don't have to wipe the shingle, you can tap it. If the granules come out and show a crease, then it's creased. This is basically the nuts and bolts of the inspection here. And if you are a roofer and you think this would help you on some claims, reach out to a BEI certified engineer that could assist you with this. And that's it. I appreciate you guys watching, and like and subscribe, of course. And we'll try to roll some more of these technical videos out to you when we can. See you.